All right. So let's get started. I am excited, of course, for this evening. It is um, Thursday, February the 10th, 2022. Um, we are live. I'm welcome everyone to Keep It Real Conversation Show with your host, Camila, aka Sunshine. We were having some technical difficulties. That's why we're late, but it's all good. It's all good. Um, Also, we are live on Spotify right now. We are live on YouTube at the name of the show. Same name. Like, subscribe, share, do all of those good things. We are live on my Facebook page, which is Sunshine Camila, Kamela, and I'm about to make it public so that everybody can get on. And the devil thought he was gonna stop coming tonight, but that's not so. Again, I believe in 6 degrees of separation. You are one person away, one advice away, one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. I have been geeked about this conversation because normally I know the person that I'm talking to. I've never met this man before. And so happily, I was on Facebook with, I come to find out was your brother, um, Elton Park.
Alton, yeah.
Elton. He has been doing, since Black History came in, he's been doing every day a different person to salute and do a tribute to. So happily, we're friends. I've never met him either. However, I'm scrolling through, like, okay, let me find somebody else to talk to. And he did this tribute to this man we're talking to tonight, Jonathan Parks. And it caught my attention, like, who is this person? I need to meet him. I need to talk to him because he moved me. So if he moved me, that means my audience needs to be moved by this man right here. So I'm gonna read what was on the Facebook post that caught my attention. Now you guys can hear me, right? For all those in the back. So it says day 5 of Black History Month. My salute is to a living legend, not dead, a living legend. Today I salute Jonathan D. Park. Mr. Park is a native of Detroit, a product of the Detroit public school system. Hallelujah. At a young age, Mr. Park suffered from a stroke, which left what would be limitations on one side of his body. The devil is a lie. Because of perceived limitations and how it affects others, it was stated that Mr. Park would not be able to do normal activities with a degree of any type of success. The devil is a lie again. However, what was a limitation and a disability to onlookers was motivation and a stepping stone for him. Mr. Parks not only ran track, wait, let me go back. I did clean off my glasses. It did say Mr. Parks not only ran track, he also played basketball in middle and high school.
Yeah.
Upon graduating from high school, he went on to Oakland University, where he completed undergrad degree and master's degree in communications. Come on, Jesus. Mr. Parks served 2 terms as student body president at Oakland University. Mr. Parks made history as he was the first. Let me say that again. He was the first African American student to achieve such an honor. Mr. Parks has worked for Wayne State University as a leader in programs that will reach back to help inner city youth with pathways to college and viable careers. Mr. Park is proof that what should be an excuse and a crutch is only that if you allow it. You're thinking to be limited to your situation. Today, Mr. Parks is of a small group of African American men who hold certificates in the following: MBTI Step 1 and 2, Strong Assessment, True Colors in Diversity, Equality, and Inclusion from Cornell University, and South Florida University. As a result, he is a highly respected and sought after consultant. On today, I salute you, Mr. Jonathan D. Parks, as a Black History living legend. I want you guys to give it up for Mr. Parks.
That's the hardest thing to sit through.
Listen, I said it. I don't know you, but for someone else to shout you out on a Black History tribute, I
Yeah.
thought it was my business to find out who you were and reached out to you and said, listen, I have a podcast and I think the world needs to know who you are. So I posted a picture and I said, today, Mr. Parks is going to give us how to get more of a can do mindset. So um, that's what we're going to talk about. So, what age did you have your stroke?
I was 18 months.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I was 18 months.
18 months?
Yeah.
So, in the assumption, usually when we think of stroke, we think older people, elderly
Right.
people, or
Right.
something has happened in your body. You were 18 months and you had a stroke.
Yes, ma'am.
So, walk us through the conversations or some of the conversations that you remembered where they told you you wasn't going to be able to do pretty much nothing.
Well, I don't really remember those conversations. What I remember was the therapy. I remember the therapy going down to Children's Hospital. I remember working with speech coaches, always going like, to look at like there's always doing something with my leg, physical therapy, trying to strengthen the left side. And I remember the kids teasing me, I don't remember the early conversations, because I was 18 months, right? Um, it takes my, it takes my, it takes my father's mother, who I'm just trying to respect everybody. It takes my father's mother, who I call mom, to really tell the story. She was there in the hospital the day that I first crawled, after the stroke. So after that, like I remember that story. She says that I crawled to the nurse's desk. She said the first place I crawled to was was to the nurse's desk. But I don't remember that story. But I remember as early as like preschool, at this time, I'm walking, but I'm still going through therapy and always, working with a speech coach, stuff like that.
You know that you were different.
Who did I know? Yeah, but like it wasn't like I thought I was different in a good way. Like I was envious of like people like you and just, like people who doesn't have anything wrong with them. Now that I know that we all have something wrong with us, right? Um, Mine is just you could catch on the minds quicker, right? And yeah, as a kid, of course, like I knew I was different, but I didn't think that was a good thing at the time. I thought I was like punished or cursed or whatever.
So, did they ever, like, when you're going into therapy sessions, getting stronger? Um, was there a moment where people tried to handicap you?
What people like break it down for me? Like what people you talking about?
Like say for instance, you know, like mothers sometimes do a little extra for them of the child that maybe has some type of handicap. Do you feel like being in a classroom with others that the teacher or the kid um, labeled you or did extra to help you?
No, no, none of that. None of that really happened. I think by the time I got mobile, I was just like, pew, because the the resilience and strength of kids is that you just don't know, right? Like, you're fearless until someone teaches you to be scared,
Yes, yes.
right? So it's like, I didn't know I was different until kids started to tease me. Now, the beauty of preschool and kindergarten is like, you only get teased, that much. Like, all we care about is eating glue and snacks and naps. But it's like once you hit like first grade, it's like, oh, it got real, So like around the age of 5 or 6, I'm like, wait, like I'm just like you. And cats be like, no, you're not. Like, what do you mean? So like before that, I'm just in la la land.
So where once you notice this from other people, your peers, maybe other family members, I'm not sure, begin to see that you were different. Where did it click in your mind? Like, I'm not gonna let this stop.
Okay. Can you hear me okay? Okay, because you're kind of faint. You're just a little faint.
Can you hear me
Um
now? Like, is
I
that
I
better?
could I heard you all throughout the whole conversation. It's just you're a little faint. Um when did it click? Had to be middle school. Had to be middle school. I went to you from Detroit, right? West side or east side?
East side, of
Okay.
course.
Okay, I hear you way better now. I went to Serbia on the west side.
Okay.
And I was probably 6'1" at the time, seventh grade. And I got introduced to sports. I got introduced to sports to kind of stay away from games. And it's a long story, but I won't go on. How much time do we have?
Got an
uh,
hour.
okay, but got introduced to sports, and it wasn't so much that I just felt accepted. Like my height was good for something, and I wasn't really coordinated. Never played ball before, but I get out there and I block a couple of shots, and that's people just loved it, right? So sports kept me away from gangs, and all was going well in the world. And one day, cheerleaders came. Cheerleaders came to practice. Cheerleaders came to practice, and that just messed my whole world up. But
Well,
I
it
think
made
like
you get
seven.
distracted.
Not really distracted. It was just I knew I was bad, and peep the words I'm saying. Like I knew I was bad. So mentally in my mind, I'm telling myself I suck already. And my attitude reflected that, but I still felt like this was a safe haven that kept me away from games. You know, and I think that's when things just kind of like click. Like, okay, I can do something. I can be accepted. For something.
Okay, so now I'm seeing the pattern. So, we always talk about how we are dealt certain hands in life, right? Some we accept and some we don't. And you get to this moment of why me?
Yeah.
Why me? So now you're 6'1", you're playing basketball, but you're not really playing basketball.
Right.
You're there, but you're not really into it like,
Right.
listen, I'm about to y'all don't understand. So in your mind, you're saying, look, I'm not really this good, but I need to I need to make some moves different. So what was this conversation with yourself that said, okay, I got the height, I got I'm assuming they looking at me. Um, what do I need to do to better myself?
It wasn't even about bettering myself. It was just like I felt accepted. I felt included. So I was like, yo, I'm on a team. So it's
Right.
like, what do I have to do to stay on a team?
Okay.
It wasn't about like this seventh grade. It wasn't about bettering myself. I had one goal, but two goals. Block a shot, get a rebound, and pass the ball. And guess what? I did that, and I did it pretty good. And then once it's like, wait, okay, now, mind you, this is seventh grade, so let's not. I'm not gonna hype it up. It's seventh grade, but it's like, wait, I can do this, right? I could at least block a shot, get the rebound, right?
Yes.
And I was getting in the game. Like I
Yes.
wasn't just like, it wasn't any pity given to me like, okay, let's just put them in and make them feel good. It's like I had to work to get in the game. And I think that a lot of other people around that time didn't see my limitation. So then I stopped seeing my limitation.
So, did the coach ever have a one-on-one conversation with you?
No, never. Not in middle school. In high school, I had a lot of one-on-one conversations. But in middle school, nah.
Okay, so now we're gonna fast forward from middle school
To
to
high
high
school.
school.
Okay.
So, what is the conversation like now? Like
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
in the ninth
So
grade. I'm
yeah.
tall. We got to do a
So
little bit more.
ninth grade, tall, had to try out, for junior varsity. So I tried out. I remember this like it was yesterday. Like me and this one dude, we going at it. Like, trying out, and I made the team. Then they said that you have to run cross country for conditioning. And I said, Coach, I can't run. Keep the language. I said, Coach, I can't run. And he said, well, you run up and down the basketball court, don't you? I said, yeah, that's different. That's like stop and go. Then he was like, well, for conditioning, you got to run cross country. So we ran cross country, like the first race, like the first practice, like almost died. First race, I came in dead last. I came in dead last, but I wasn't tired. So I have a different coach at this time. My cross country coach is like, "You're not tired, are you?" I'm like, "Nah." He said, "Meet me at school at 6:30." I said, "What?" He said, "Meet me at school at 6:30." And I would go to school early, and I would work out with him, and he would stretch me. He would take my limited leg, and he would pull it, and he would put it like to my head, and he'll give me a rope. He was like, while I push, I need you to pull. And like, so he's stretching me and I'm working out. And then I had to work out again after school. So I'm working out twice. I'm doing uh, twice the work to keep up with the team. Then comes another race. I didn't come there last. I didn't come first either, but I didn't come there last. And he showed me the difference of my time. He was like, you could do this, right? Keep the language. You
Yes.
can do this, right? I'm like, yeah, I can. So then I started focusing more on running than I did basketball because I have no left hand. So what happened was that basketball became the conditioning for between cross country and track season for me.
Yes.
I did basketball to stay in shape.
Yes.
So then we go to track, and this dude puts me in the 400. Right now,
Yes.
you ask me, I'm biased. The 400, that's the race. I
Yes.
don't care. The 4x4 is the race everybody want to see.
Yes.
He put me in the 400. Didn't come first, but I didn't come last. And I come off the court, and he was like, and I was running. I ran in Air Force Ones.
Right. Wrong shoes.
Wrong shoe, right? Put me off the track. Was like, you could do this. Give me some track shoes, the whole nine. And just, I kept on going to morning conditioning, after school conditioning, lifting weights, working out, stretching, and just kept on running. My mom was just showing my kids some newspaper clippings from the free press that has my cross country time from wasn't the city championship. It was one of those races, but I'm running a 5K in under 19 minutes. Like that's pretty, it's pretty good. Like he had me moving, right? So having that extra reinforcement, that plant that seed that I could do it, like really helped propel me to start to believe in myself.
And that part is very important. That you brought up that having someone to believe in you and push you to a place where you didn't even think you were capable of doing.
Right.
Um, your start, the attitude would change according to what you think.
Mhm.
So a man thinketh, so it is in his heart, or you're gonna do that, whatever you're thinking. And so I'm in a space right now is um my words. We always hear these things, words have power, words have power. And it's to a place where it start really making sense to you when things start manifesting that you have been saying out of your mouth. And so when you start seeing these things as manifesting, you're constantly like, okay, now I'm aware that I do have to be careful of the things that I say, whether they're good or bad, because it can manifest. So we're looking at somebody that, even though they were told maybe that this condition may um, possibly be a limitation to him, uh, to the point where you're still moving, but you wasn't moving to the highest that you could until you met this cross country um, coach, which I've been there, done that. I've done basketball, so I understand exactly what you mean of getting up early before school even starts with the conditioning. And then after a while, it gets easier and easier. And once your coach understands that it gets easier and easier for you, then he puts another challenge on you.
Yeah.
And then after this challenge, here comes another. By the time you graduate from high school, you have probably achieved more than you would ever thought you would be able to do. Do you agree?
No, by the time I graduated, I knew it was more. Like, this man, Christopher Givens, shout out to Christopher Givens, Coach Givens. He had us running 10 miles. Now, the race is only 3.1. He had us running 10 miles at practice.
Uh huh.
Like, coach, why are we running 10 miles? He was like, you get used to doing more, less is nothing.
Yes,
Like you can knock these 10 miles out. The actual race is a day off.
basically.
Right. Like, so imagine developing that mindset. Like my practice is harder than the actual race
Right.
I'm
Yes.
running. So when I left CMA, I was just like, yo, like whatever's next, bring it on. You feel
So
me?
what was next after that?
I went to college, went to Oakland University.
So how was that on was it at this point, was it diverse at Oakland or
No, it's not. Still not diverse at Oakland.
wow.
Oakland's still a PWI, predominantly white institute.
So you coming from what, it was a mixed high school
No,
or
CMA
predominantly black?
predominantly black, but my Sundays were mixed.
Okay.
If you follow me, my Sundays were mixed.
Okay.
So I was used to everybody already.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was the part at Oakland that maybe possibly been a challenge to you?
A lot. Didn't know how to study. Had poor time management. I'm coming from an area where if you had an old school cutlass, you was the man. And now I'm on a campus where people have convertible Audis. You know, what's an Audi?
Right, right.
So
They ain't driving no Audis in the hood.
um, people are going to class and UGG slippers. Never seen UGG day in my life. So it was just a different, it's a different world from that standpoint. But in a lot of ways, it wasn't. It was like the same world once you shrunk it. But the challenges that I had was just in high school, you don't really have to study. You know, you memorize stuff, you take a test, and you're on your way. Here, I had to study. And I didn't know how to study. Never was late for school, had perfect attendance, but I never had to go to school. I never had to take a 3 hour class from 6:30 to 9:50 either. So you're doing that, you're trying to work, you're trying to have a social life. There's a lot to balance, and you could get lost in that.
Absolutely. I told this being at the University of Michigan, coming from Osborne, where you're used to getting straight A's or A's and B's. And my first semester at U of M, I can say the first chapter, probably everything I learned in high school. So I had to make a decision. Um, are you going to go to tutoring or are you going to cancel this class? What are you going to do?
Mm,
So, in order for me to get to where I need to get to, I have to take this class. So, when you said very important for those who are going to school, going to college, learn and push yourself in high school.
yeah.
Outside of your teachers, learn all you can, learn techniques on studying. That was another thing. I didn't have to study. I had one of those photographic memories. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that hard to do. And so not having the technique or having the self discipline when you are staying on campus, your mom is not there telling you to get up and go to class. No one's there. You are your own person. You don't want to go to school? Hey, it's gonna show up. You don't want to go to tutoring if you're not, you know,
Yeah, go
holding
to.
your own. It's going to show up. So that right there is very important. And a lot of times we don't talk about this. We just,
Mm,
hit our heads and that's it. No, we have to learn how to study. We have to have time management. And that's oh my God, time management is very important how to prioritize your time and
yeah,
things that are important and what's not important.
right.
Being on time, come on. That if you know me personally, I'm super, super early. Every day I'm at least 30 to 40 minutes early for work. For work. Why? Because if something goes wrong, I have enough time to react, fix it, and still get to work on time.
Right.
Hello, somebody.
Hello, somebody.
I'm just saying, a lot of
I hear
people
you.
do not value time.
I hear you.
Time is money.
Yeah.
Time is money. And not only that, if you're in the boardroom, if you're in a meeting and your boss is giving a lecture or whatever the case may be, and you come strolling in there, oops, I'm sorry, and this is, I'm gonna look at you. You wasting my time. You ever get those looks before?
For me?
Not you, but I'm
Oh.
just saying. I don't never want to be the person that they're sitting up there like, I wonder what they gonna say about. No, that's
Yeah.
not me. I'm gonna be the one looking at you. You'll never be looking at me, ever,
Ever.
ever. So when you're talking about this, this is very important that people need to get this. It's not just an age thing. It's not even just college. This is middle school from start.
Yeah.
If you're not a timely person, you're passing this on to your kids,
Yeah.
and that irritates me to the highest. I'm so serious.
I could tell.
I'm very passionate about
I was early logging in before we had the technical difficulty. That matters.
yes, I'm always early. I was down south and I was going to a church where it was predominantly military, and that was their thing. Like, show up on time, you're late. If you late, you might as well not come. And so it was always get there early, 15 minutes or earlier than we might have on the go. Um, One time he did a test. He didn't tell anybody. Said, okay, I told y'all several times to be on time. Blah, blah, blah. It was only a few of us that came. Time was 15 or more minutes before service. Gave us money.
Wow.
Hmm. So don't be late, people. You're going to miss your blessing. That's all I'm going to say. I learned that very well, and I keep it to this day. Um, what is something else that college sometimes bring out of us that we're not always aware of?
All right, I'm gonna push you. When you say us, are you talking to people of African descent?
We
Make
can
it
say
clear for
that
me.
just in general.
Uh, you know, college is it's just a buffet. It's just a buffet that you go through your journey of life. Is just keep it simple. Your freshman year is all about gen eds, taste a little bit of everything and see what you want to dive in more, explore more of. Um, this is one of the best times of my life. Found out a lot about myself, found out a lot about us. That's the first time I ever read a book about real African American history. Um, Gave me the option to fail without detrimental consequences, right? Like you try
Mm-hmm.
different things, and you realize like, okay, well, this ain't gonna kill me. It's okay to try. It's okay to fail. And then you go back and assess to, find out what the lesson is, right? Allowed me to learn about other ethnicities and other cultures. That was beautiful. Um, and it just allowed it gives you like a little foundation on how to live when you're home, but there's other ways to build that foundation.
So on your paper, it said that you got your degrees in communication, correct?
Yes.
So what was your reasoning for communication? Why not African American history or uh, any of those other
Yeah.
studies?
I want to say I can hear you excellent now. You sound great. Welcome to the show. um, I'm like, I'm very competitive. And I felt
Okay.
like the biggest slap in the doctor's face was to get a degree in communications.
Okay. And the so when you had your stroke, was it more so like your speech was slurred?
Yeah, I couldn't talk.
Okay.
Yeah, paralysis, and I couldn't had to learn how to talk again.
Okay.
That's why and trust me, I didn't go into college like I'm gonna prove this doctor wrong. I'm gonna get a comm degree. It's like no, like you go through. Uh, I wanted to be a teacher, but then teachers told me not to become a teacher. I wanted to become a doctor, but I didn't have the patience. Get it, doctor, patience. Okay,
Yes, I got it.
all right. And then I took an assessment, and the advisor was like, "Have you thought about comm?" And I was like, well, what they do? And it's like, they kind of talk for a living. I was like, oh, that's something they say I would never be able to do. Like, let's wrong with that. Let's roll with that.
So, on average for a degree in communication, how long did that take, like year wise?
5 years, but the average college student is on a 5 year plan. It could take me four, but I was doing a lot of living. Uh, I was doing a lot of living, a lot of living.
So, in your a lot of living, how long did it take you?
5 years, 5 years,
Oh my gosh.
five
Oh,
years,
that's funny.
5 years. No, that my freshman year I had a 1.36.
What?
Yeah, had a 1.36 my freshman year. So I had to dig out that whole, like I said, time management, not knowing how to study. Uh, it was just socially, I had a 4.0.
I bet.
But yeah, academically, I had a 1.36.
I think most times, especially when you come from a sheltered home, and I think it was a party every weekend, and with being in Ipsy and Ann Arbor, it wasn't a lot of us.
Yeah.
So you eventually start seeing the same people at the same parties, and eventually it was like, you know what, I'm over it. Uh,
It took a while for that eventually to hit me.
okay.
On the weekends, it was like a world tour. There's 15 public universities in the state of Michigan. So it was like, okay, where we going this
Yeah,
weekend?
pick your poison.
Pick your poison. So going to Fake the Funk at Michigan State, going up to U of M. I was up at U of M a few times. Eastern, so and then also before then, I didn't really know freeways that well. I had no reason to be on 275 or
Mm,
696. Like, well, actually 696, we took that to the butterfly. But you know about the butterfly?
of course.
Quick sidebar, the real name is not the butterfly.
What is it?
It's like Sterling Heights Gaming Center or something like that. It
Yes,
was
I
it was
know all
never
of
called
all
it
of
was never
that.
called the butterfly.
Why? That's an off-camera thing of why they came up with that.
Yeah, but yeah, like 275 and 94, and then M23 and all that stuff. Like, no, no, like I had no reason to even know how to even access those highways. So it was just exploring it all. You know,
So now you have a degree in communication, and then you went on to continue your education.
not
So what's the
intentionally, not intentionally.
wait? Huh?
Yeah, I got the degree and thought I was good. I was set. Applied for a job. Had a job offer. I went through a process with Domino's where they had this rotational program where they put you 6 months on the West Coast, 6 months in the South, 6 months on the East Coast, and then 6 months international. At this time, coming out of school, I think it was about like 55,000. It's like 2005, and they give you a living stipend, right? They put you in the room. Every time you came back, you could see who was eliminated. They had two positions that came down to me and two Caucasian young ladies, and they had two positions, and there's three of us left. So they gave a test, and they said the test is designed for you to fail, and they told me to relax. Right, so I go in, I take the test. What do I do?
You didn't relax.
I relax. Right, I'm doing the test, but like I'm relaxed about it. They said time. Long story short, I didn't get that offer. They came back and they said, no, but we like you. They said, we want to give you, and I still had this offer letter. They said, we want to give you 21,000, and it was $350 to relocate to Atlanta to learn how to run one of their maybe it was 27,000, but to learn how to run one of their corporate owned stores. This happened before Christmas of 2000 and maybe 2006. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Something else gotta shake out. A professor called me out of nowhere, and Professor Dale Nesberry, uh, he called me and asked me if he remembered me from student congress when I was student body president, and he said, "You ever thought about going back to get your master's?" And I was like, "Nope." He was like, "Let me tell you about this MPA program, Masters in Public Administration. It's political science focused, yada yada yada." He was like, "I can get you accepted, and I can get it paid for it." And I said, "What?" He was like, "I will cut you a check to go to school." I said, "What?" I'm looking at my pockets. I'm broke, right? This man got me into school, got to pay for it, and put money in my pocket.
Wow.
So like I was like, I don't know what's about to happen, but I'm about to like go all in. Never looked back since.
Wow. That's amazing. Talking about
Yeah.
doors opening.
So you know what I do now? Whenever somebody tell me they want to go to school, I give them that same pocket of money.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive, especially to be able to, have the smarts or the wisdom to actually do it. Now
Well, I
that's
was
the thing.
yeah, I wasn't doing nothing else, you know. So I just knew it. I couldn't go down to Atlanta, you know, on that.
Not in the time of the Freaknik. Oh Lord, no. Oh no. So what are some things that people can take in for today or for the rest of their life as a can do mindset?
Ooh, I don't think we even tackled that. But I'm real big on individuals having a mission statement uh, for their lives to understand their why. People always get on me like, you in this mission statement. I'm like, whenever I'm weighing something, I can ask myself, does it feed my mission? Does it feed my why? The most dangerous question you can ask a person if you're not ready for a reply is, how you doing?
Okay.
Did you catch that? And if you ask a person how they're doing and you're not ready to sit down and listen, that becomes a dangerous question. So one day at work, I asked this young lady, I said, how you doing? And she just downloaded on me. And she was like, I hate this place. I don't see how you could come in here every day and you have a smile on your face. What are you doing differently? And I was like, well, what's your why? Like, why did you come here? And she said, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, that's not why you come here. That's what you get by coming here. But why do you come here? I said, my why, this is just where I do my work. This is not, why I do my work. I can do my work anywhere. This is the place I choose to do my work. So when you change why you work, where you work, the creator will change how you show up in those places. So, the mission statement piece is huge. And it's not so much about you know, a can, a can or can do mindset, but you got to have your focus. And then secondly, you got to really surround yourself with people that pour into you. You have people in your life that take deposits from you and pieces from you. You need people to, pour back. The biggest thing for me was that I had 5 people telling me no. And I had one person that said yes. And here's the thing: simple mathematics. People will say, "Well, you got 5 people telling you no. You need 6 people telling you yes that you can do it." Now, you only need one, and then the other person needs to be yourself to really, believe in yourself. So, like when I got that one person that was like, "Yeah, you could do this," it was just like that confirmation was like, "Yeah, I can," and I started to block out everyone else that said I couldn't. And then for the rest of my life, I continue to block them out. It's almost like a diet, right? Like all the things is bad for you. If you want to drop weight, you got a vacation coming up, whatever the things may be. Is just you have to do the things to keep that weight off. Same thing with negative people in your life. I do the things to keep the negative people out of my life, right? I learned very fast. It's going to sound very crazy that we cannot become anything that we want to be, but you can become what you're supposed to be.
Okay, I'll take that.
Um, quickly, I throw a couple bars out there. Quickly, I learned that you can't change your friends, but you could change your friends.
Absolutely.
You caught that? Hmm. Okay. So as I had people around me that was truly just showing me who they were, and insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different
Expecting
outcome.
something different.
So then,
Yes.
you share a dream with someone, and you have to be careful who you share your dream with. See, now I'm getting open, right? Let me calm back down. But um, you share your dream with someone, and then if when they in the moment when they kill the dream, we go back with a higher level of I don't know, enthusiasm that we want that person to believe us, right? But actually, no, don't try to convince them. Just share your dream with someone else. Stop sharing your dream with dream killers, right? Because dream killers are just broken dream keepers that got addicted to something else.
Ooh.
So you gotta stop sharing your dream with dream killers, and then finding people out, finding people who's gonna hold you accountable to make your dreams come true. So all of those different things, it's not just one thing, it's a lot of small things to,
That add up.
that add up.
And oh, one of the other things is understand that life um is one of the greatest teachers,
Yeah.
whether we like it or not.
Yep.
Some of the experiences I've had um makes me a better person today.
Yeah.
Um some of them I wish I didn't have to bump my head, get the scars to prove it, but I know how to maneuver now. I know how to, if I see it again, and some things I have seen again,
Mm-hmm.
I can conquer it this time. I'm not afraid. I don't have to, back up and, try to go around it. I know how to defeat it. And then it's my job to tell someone else so they don't have to do the same things that, we fell for the traps, we fell for the trick, we fell for all of these different things, and there's no need to.
Yeah.
Um, I did enough crying. I had enough scraped knees and eyes swollen for all of us. So that's why we're here. That's why you had someone told the world that they're saluting you for Black History Month.
Yeah.
Um, and that was the reason that I saw this person that I never met before.
Yeah.
Not even the person who shot you out. I don't even remember. I've never met them either.
But that's my
But
big brother,
however,
though. That's my big brother.
so for that moment, for it to scroll through my Facebook
Yeah.
and catch my eye, like, who is this?
Mm-hmm.
Reading what I read earlier about you, overcoming a stroke. Now, did I know it was at 18 months? No, I did not. But the fact that you overcame those things, that was not your limitation, that wasn't into what other people's thought about you,
Mm-hmm.
um, and you outlasted all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Not only the physical part of it, as well as the education part of it, and still moving forward, still paying it forward for somebody who paid it for you. And
Yeah.
so that right there is beyond the realm of not being selfish. And this is why I have what I have here. It's called connection. It's called giving back to our youth, giving back to our people. So we all can eat. We all win.
Yeah.
We all win. If you have conquered some things that I wasn't able to, but guess what? I'm still smiling and excited that it happened to you. That means it happened to me. So we have to get into this mindset of, lift each other up. Tell somebody else something good. I met somebody today that really just changed how I think about things. Um, me and my husband was just talking last night about like advanced director. What is that? For all those who do not know, those are called living will. So we're having a conversation about like do not resuscitate or things of this nature that most of us, unfortunately, we don't talk about. We just assume.
Mm-hmm.
And so we having an honest conversation. I had to look him in his eye. Look, under no circumstances, X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? So this moment right here is bringing me life to see someone, and I'm giving you your flowers now, like I always do with everybody on here. Is you're from the city of Detroit. All of this wasn't even supposed to happen. First of all, West Side definitely wasn't supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like these are things that has to be honored. These are things that has to be uh, put on. Like, listen here, we have somebody from the city of Detroit who has several degrees, who suffered a stroke and out did that. I ain't never had a stroke and I ain't did no 10 miles.
I can't do them now.
I'm just
Um,
saying,
yeah.
I couldn't stand across country,
Can
but
you
we
guess
had to
my
do
favorite?
it in the off season of track. Yes, I
Can
didn't
you
like
guess?
it.
Can you guess my favorite word?
What? Can?
Serendipity.
Why?
It means a fortunate accident.
Wow.
So you
That
just
was
said
deep.
you just said this. You just said this wasn't supposed to happen, right? You don't even know my brother. Don't know me. East side, west side. You just said it wasn't supposed to happen. Serendipity.
It was not. It was literally, when we think about it, we might say, oh, it was by chance. I said, no, this was divine.
Yeah.
It was meant to happen.
You gonna help
And,
someone.
huh?
You gonna help someone.
Absolutely. That was the whole point. That's why I say I get excited about every time I get to come on and bring a guest. Most of the time, I'm never by myself. I'm always bringing somebody to be able to tell their story, to be honest, transparent, bold with it. So someone else who sees this and get encouragement from it, reach out to you and be like, how do you listen? I need to be the one to go back to school. Pay me. I'll finish this time, I promise. So, I mean, these opportunities, who would have, I would have never known this. I would have never met you. If, again, if your brother didn't say, look, on day 5 of Black History Month, I am giving a shout out to my brother who have made major accomplishments, all on paper, defeated the odds, and still doing big things. So I'm excited. I've never met you in person, but I'm sure one day I will. I'm glad that you were able to take the call, and after all this moments of 17 minutes of trying to figure out how we gonna get this stuff going, I don't know how we did that. We got on 10 minutes early and still was 17 minutes late.
Better late than never.
Right. But however, we had this conversation, and I want people to like, share, subscribe, find out about you. You had a book as well, right?
No, 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 no. No
Why
book.
did that look like a book?
What? What look like a book? What I sent you?
Yeah.
That's my press kit.
Aha.
Yeah.
But it looks like a book. But
I
maybe I
started
just spoke it into existence.
well, I started a book 10 years ago, but haven't even looked at it no more.
Well, maybe you need to get back to it.
Maybe, they said I needed to have a book. Back then I was just trying to work I really just wanted to talk full time. They say you need a product to sell. And I was like, you know what? Like I'm a talker, I'm not a writer. So I started writing a book just to shop it out so I could jump on a speaker circuit. I was like, I don't want to write, I want to talk.
Even in that, you have a lot to write. You have a lot to say. Um, and I think you should get back to it.
I'm gonna drink some cognac and see what if it agrees with you.
I'm not fooling with you. However, is there anything else you want to say to the people, sir?
Oh, ooh, nothing's coming to mind right now, or too much is coming to mind.
Which one is it? Too much or you don't have nothing? Which one is it?
I always got something. It's just, it's just a lot coming right now. You know, because it varies depending on what the people need. I got something. um, Find the quietness in your life to manifest for it.
Say that one more time.
Find the quietness in your life to manifest forward. You said manifest earlier.
Hmm.
A lot of things became real for me when I wrote them down and I spoke them into existence. That's a whole different, conversation, but a lot of things. I'm talking about manifest. Don't twist the word. Manifest. Write it down, manifest, and see it happen. But it,
That's the
it
big
has
thing.
it has to go all back to your why, right?
Why you do what you do.
Exactly, because what you do should never be about you. It should never solely be about you. It should be for the benefit of someone else.
Absolutely.
And here's something else too. In order for your dreams to come true, you have to help someone else's dreams come true first.
Absolutely. And even in that, if you take it a step further, if you're helping someone else with um, exposure, helping them open the doors for them, all of this thing, God will turn it around, and that same person you help will bless you, or they'll open the door for you. So again, I do honestly agree. It's not about us. It's not even the things that we've been through to be the trailblazers, to be any of those things. It was never about you.
Oh,
We're all here to serve, and from there, then other things will happen for you. So, servitude is where it's at. Honestly,
can we short on time?
how long you got? What you trying to say?
I'm about to leave you with this. I'm gonna talk your language. I'm gonna leave you on this, okay? So Joseph, who can interpret dreams.
Hmm.
You familiar with Joseph?
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm going to fast forward. Joseph can interpret dreams. Joseph gets thrown in the pit. Let's say it's a
Yes.
jail. In the jail, he's still doing what? He's still interpreting dreams.
Interpreting dreams.
This guy gets out. The guy becomes the guy's the cupbearer
Yep.
of Pharaoh.
Hmm.
Pharaoh has a dream: 7 fat cows, 7 skinny cows. No one can interpret his dream.
Right.
The cupbearer says, "I know a person." They go to the pit slash jail. They get Joseph. Joseph comes out. He interprets the dream. He said, "You're going to have 7 years of plenty. You're going to have 7 years of famine."
Yep.
Right? Whenever I tell that story, I ask people, who's the most important person in this story? People says Pharaoh because of his position, or they say Joseph because of his gift. When actually the most important person in that story is the cupbearer.
Cupbearer. Hmm.
So I want to thank you for being a cupbearer,
Aw.
because the cupbearer is a forger of relationship. And because of proximity of relationships, most cups are on a saucer. Okay. If it overflows,
It's gonna go on the saucer.
it's
Listen,
going
I'm very listen. I caught it.
that's it. I'm done.
That was deep. Like that is a good question because again, I didn't know, and here comes the therapist
No,
part.
you ain't no more time. Remember,
No, this
you
is
ain't got no more
listen. This is my
time.
show. I can go on if I want to. So this is where the therapy comes in, and I was telling a guy yesterday is where we could be talking about one thing, or I think the conversation is gonna go this way,
Mhm.
and God be like, we going here, and it becomes God comes in the conversation, and it just he flips it every time. And the therapy part of it is again, we both get to show the intelligence of God through what we've been through, the things that we get to say and share with one another. We're forgetting that we're on live. We're forgetting that there's other people watching or listening. But at the end of the day, to be able to come out of certain situations, sometimes we do got to go to jail. Sometimes we go to the pits of hell for others. But when that moment comes, when you have to stand before whoever to help them get them to their destiny. That's why I say this all the time. You are literally one person away, one advice away, and one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. I didn't make that up. And the thing is, I'm good with being the connector to help people get to where they need to be. God told me last year I was going to become the help that I once needed. So I'm good. I'm good. I get to meet people like you by doing this. So who knows who's gonna reach out to you in your inbox or call you like, bro, I heard that interview, man. Can you help me out? We need this. So I appreciate being the cupbearer. And I'm sure this probably won't be the last time we talk. But again, this was an awesome time for our first time, our first conversation, to be able to get the help out here, get our mindset right, so we can conquer the world. So thank you. Now that I can hear you. So I will bid you good night. Um, one more day. Tomorrow's Friday. Thank you, G.
Thank you.
I made it. But however, I will see you soon, sir. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, my listeners, please like and share. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want to be a sponsor of the show, please get in touch with me. If you need me to advertise for you, please let me know. Again, you are one person away, one advice away, one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. Keeping it real conversations with Sunshine. And I'm out. See ya.